Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wholistic Me Podcast, a journey to finding wellness within. This is episode 27 and I'm your host, Jessica Bravo. Thank you so much for being here. Today is all about Reiki. So let's get to it. Hello, so today's topic is Reiki. What is Reiki? What is Reiki healing? You hear that term, perhaps you've been curious, maybe you've received Reiki, but you're not really 100% sure what it's all about, even though you've had a Reiki session. So I'm here to explain that to you. So as you may know, I am a licensed acupuncturist, but I'm also a Reiki master teacher. All right, and so what that means is I've gone through 3 levels of training, plus a little bit more, because you can be a Reiki master without being a teacher. I did the Reiki master training and then an additional training to become a Reiki master teacher in order to teach others how to become Reiki practitioners within the level 1 and level 2 certification. So what does that mean for you? Doesn't mean much other than you can also learn Reiki from me. So, what is Reiki? Reiki is what we call a loving universal life force energy that is available and in and around everything and all living beings. Okay, so it is an external source, but it's also within us, right? And when we talk about energy work, most of the time we are using our own energy or our own chi from a Chinese medicine perspective, okay? And in those cases, it's our energy going into an intention going into the practice towards helping somebody, right, feel better or improve their condition, whatever the case might be, or amplifying the effects of the work that we're doing. So if I'm doing acupuncture and I'm using my chi to stimulate or interact with the other individual's chi, it is an interaction of both of our energy fields, right, or our energies. Now with using Reiki, I am using the universal life force, and yes, it's within me, but it's not mine. It's not my energy that kind of is my own life force. It is the energy in and around all things that is unconditional love. All right, and so I become, as a Reiki practitioner, I become a vehicle for that energy to pass through me to somebody else. All right, so it's like becoming, my teacher refers to it as becoming a straw. All right, and I like to use that same analogy, or like a pipeline, right? So as you become a Reiki practitioner in level 1 and then level 2, that straw or that pipeline becomes wider. And so you start out with a narrower straw, right? Like a regular drink straw. And the energy is able to flow through you, right? But you only get so much energy through that straw at once. When you become level 2, that straw becomes bigger. So think of like a Slurpee straw, right? Or like a straw you would get with a smoothie. It's a little bit wider because the what you're having to draw through it is a little bit thicker. But really what that means is you have more volume, right, coming through that straw as a level 2 Reiki practitioner. And as a Reiki master, then you have an even wider straw or wider pipeline. Think of a jumbo straw, right? So again, more volume, more concentrated energy in the same amount of time. Okay, so it just amplifies as you progress through different levels of training. Now, as a receiver of Reiki, you're not receiving my energy, you're receiving the universal life force energy, which means that I'm not being depleted. My own energy is not depleted while I provide Reiki. It is actually also serving me at the same time that it serves you, right? So I receive Reiki while I give Reiki. So it's a wonderful approach or wonderful healing modality so that both individuals experience healing. It's absolutely beautiful and amazing. And as a receiver, there are so many benefits to Reiki. Okay? It is very calming and soothing. It helps to relieve stress and anxiety. It helps to quiet the mind. It has been shown to decrease levels of pain, has been shown to decrease other symptoms that can be experienced along with certain conditions, right? So pain associated with any treatments or side effects, headaches, insomnia, things of that nature, all right? Very helpful for mental, emotional wellness, very helpful for physical wellness. And what I like to know, and this is true for acupuncture as well, the rate at which you experience improvement varies from individual to individual, right? But the beauty of Reiki is, in my opinion, that you are in charge. You are 100% in charge of the healing that occurs within. All right? What does that mean? What do you mean, Jessica? How am I in charge? You're giving me the session. You're giving me the Reiki. So what that means is that you may come in, or you may do a distant Reiki healing session, because you can do this at a distance, virtually, or just from a different location, all right? That's pretty much all I'm doing right now is distant Reiki, and outside of just my family here in my home. And you may have a session for headaches, let's say, but your own innate cellular wisdom knows that there is a deeper cause at play, or something else that truly needs healing in order for those headaches to also go away, right? So I provide the Reiki. The intention is set, right, with what you share to me that you would like to work on, what your concerns are, what your focus is. And that intention is set and implanted into that session, right? But your own cellular wisdom within you, not your mind, right? This has nothing to do with what you think of Reiki and whether you think Reiki will work or not. Your own cells will override this, okay? It will determine where that healing truly needs to go, where it needs to happen in your body, okay? And so it may not be an immediate light bulb or immediate clarity that, the headaches are 100% better. It may require multiple sessions depending on how much Reiki needs to enter your system for your greatest and highest good for all of the healing to occur. But basically, your cells will determine where that energy is going to be sent within your body. So your body really knows. Your body knows more than you give it credit for. It's so wise. And again, this isn't just applied to Reiki. In the world of acupuncture, these same concepts are in alignment. They're not far from each other as far as some of the core truths of energy and how our body works on that energetic level, on a cellular level, right? We are energy, we are electric. We have energy fields. It's been proven. It's no longer woo, right? It is what it is. We emit an energy field, multiple energy fields from multiple energy centers within our body, right? Our chakras. This stuff isn't fake. It's real. And your body has more control over your health and wellness than you give it credit for. However, we do get in our own way. And again, the beauty of Reiki is it allows the energy to tap in directly to that cellular wisdom and bypass the monkey mind. All right, the mind that tells us, one story and then another and trying to make sense of it all or debunk it all, right? Our mind is never ending thought, right, that can get in the way for better or worse. Okay, mind is a beautiful thing, right? The things that people can create and imagine is absolutely wonderful, but it can also completely block us from experiencing joy and health and all these amazing things. So what does a Reiki session look like? So like I mentioned earlier, right now all I'm doing is virtual Reiki healing or distance Reiki, right? So for me, what that looks like is I schedule a time, right? You reach out to me, we find a time that works best. And really Reiki can be done at any time. You don't have to, with distance Reiki, you don't have to lie down or sit quietly for the remainder of the session or the duration of the session. It's not required. You can be going about your day and we can have a scheduled time where I am sending the Reiki and you will receive it no matter what you're doing, right? However, okay, we live in a world that is just going all the time, right? And so I just find it to be helpful, just as when people would come into the office to physically see me, whether it be for acupuncture or Reiki, it's that time for you, right? It's that time for you to actually allow yourself to pause and to rest and just breathe, okay? And so I do prefer, if it's possible, to schedule it in a time where you have the ability to take that time for yourself, and whether it be just sitting comfortably somewhere on your couch or a big comfy chair, or actually lie down in your bed or lie down on the floor, maybe lie in savasana in that lying yoga pose, right? Get some props under your knees, get comfortable, and that's just ideal, just lovely and comfortable, and just amplifies or just makes you feel a little bit more in that peaceful state, okay? The Reiki will still do what it needs to do, even if you have to get the dishes done, or even if you're feeding the kids, or even if you're on your commute, right, to and from work, or if you're in a meeting. It's okay if we do it during other times where you are engaged in something else. It's not going to affect the effectiveness of it. I just find it to be more pleasant as a receiver if you have that time for yourself, because we lack that. And so once we found a time that works, okay, that we're in agreement with, we have it scheduled, then I usually will communicate, whether it's through text message or some sort of direct message communication, whether Facebook or Instagram, and let you know that I'll be getting started soon. If we haven't already discussed what your focus is, I will ask at that time, right? Usually we find out, especially if you're new and it's a first time session, we've usually discussed it already, what you'd like your focus to be for that session. If it's somebody who's kind of rescheduling follow-ups or other visits, and they're doing it on their own, because you can book yourself without necessarily getting in touch with me first, then I'll just do a quick check-in, see where you're at, what your needs are for that session, to set an intention for it, okay? And then I just get started. There's no need for video communication. It's pretty simple as far as that goes. It's a 30-minute session so that you can rest and relax if you're able to. Otherwise, you're going about your normal time, and I'm spending the 30 minutes focusing on you and sending the Reiki to you directly, okay? And that's done through the level 2 and up for Reiki training in order to do distance work. Then once the session is complete, I notify you, right? I send you a follow-up message, let you know that the session is complete, and share any additional insight that I have for you regarding your focus or information that just needs to be relayed to you. Part of what happens with Reiki is that either myself as the practitioner or you as the receiver will receive information from the body, okay? The body is always trying to communicate with us. I've talked about this many times already, but the body is always trying to tell us something, right? Our cells are constantly communicating with us in some way, and it's just whether or not we're listening. And with Reiki, I have found that information that needs to come through will usually happen at that time or shortly after a session, okay? And so if it's to come through me, right? If I receive the message in order to relay it to you, it's usually during the session so that I can relay that information to you as quickly as possible at the end of the session, and for you to make use of it, that information. If it's going to come through you, it's going to pop into your mind or just internally just have a knowing, then it may happen a little while after, maybe even a couple days after the session, when it's for your greatest and highest good, okay? And being intuitive, I find that I also will not only get information from your cells, from your body, right, that need to be relayed. I've often also received messages from individuals, guides, or spirit animals, or things that just kind of pop into my mind or just become a knowing that I need to share with you. And it's a beautiful time because of that connection through that unconditional love that universal life force is and provides. That information just comes through so easily for me at that time, and so I'm able to share that with you. And it's usually very important or relevant information for you at the time. And it may not always be 100% tied into what your focus was, but it has some sort of connection in some way, something that you can shift, whether it be in lifestyle or behavior, or perhaps even I've had cases where food modifications have come through, right? Or things that should be incorporated or introduced into meals in order to support the individual in their healing process at that time. So it's a beautiful experience for me as a provider, and very profound for the receiver as well. So I hope this information is helpful. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything that I wanted to share. Oh yes, 100% missing something. So as a teacher, I I've been running virtual Reiki classes now for the past couple months. And so I do have another class coming up. It's through Zoom, so you can do it from the comfort of your home, anywhere in the world, which is really the most exciting part, I think, because before it was, you had to wait till a certain time frame when your teacher was offering a class local to you. And now through this time, through this pandemic, finding ways to still offer this modality and to offer teaching this modality, this option has just become available, right, to us. And my students that I've had are seeing really wonderful benefits and results with the Reiki that they are now using for themselves and for others. So if you would love to join me or want to join me, have a desire to learn Reiki, I am doing a level 1 and level 2 training on November 14th and November 15th respectively. So level 1 on this Saturday, November 14th, and level 2 on Sunday, November 15th. And it's just a few hours each. You can check out the pricing. I will put all the links down below and in the show notes for registering for the Reiki classes. All right, so you will purchase the class. There is a discount, an automatic discount applied when you register for both level 1 and 2 in the same weekend. Okay, you will get a discount applied, and all the information is there on how we will connect. But once you've submitted the registration and paid for the class, then I send you all of the supporting information on the Zoom links and the documents for the classes, so that we can be prepared and ready to begin when it's time. So I'm really excited for this next class, November 14th and 15th. Please join me if you have been feeling called to learn Reiki. And if this seems like a wonderful fit for you, I would love to have you in my class. So there is something else I would like to mention. This is a powerful modality. And I use it every day, every single day, on myself, for my family, for my loved ones, people around the world. I just did a collective Reiki healing last night with some other practitioners, some of my students. We had a specific time frame, and for 10-15 minutes, we all sent Reiki healing to the world, right? And with a little extra focus also on our nation here in the United States and current times. So it's such a beautiful thing to do collectively as well. It's so powerful. I just want to take a moment to honor the lineage that brought Reiki into our current reality, right? Reiki is an ancient healing practice, beautiful healing practice. It was in the ancient texts, ancient Sanskrit texts, and it had been lost for a while, wasn't really in use. But Dr. Usui, who we credit to creating or recreating, bringing back this beautiful modality, right? Dr. Usui, Dr. Hayashi, and Miss Takata, they are really the founders or the reigniters of this practice in our modern world, and bringing it to the people and making it accessible to all Again, this is energy that is within and around all of us. Yes, we all have access, but tuning our frequency, our own vibration to that energy so that we can access it anytime, anywhere, is really what becoming a practitioner is about, and allows us to connect to that universal life force energy in a way that we can transmit it, not give it, because it's not ours. It's part of us, again, around, within all living beings. It makes up all things, but we can transmit it for healing. So it's a beautiful thing. And I just wanted to take a moment to honor that and give thanks for that, and thank my own teacher, Libby Barnett, who is also one of the early students and has been teaching as long as I've been alive. And very grateful for having the opportunity to cross paths with her while I was in acupuncture school and be her student over the years and receive my training through her, and to now pass this all on to my own students and future students to come, and just shed a little bit more love through the world, through this beautiful modality. Thank you all for being here. I am so grateful for you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for taking a moment in your day to dive a little deeper with me into what Reiki is and what it's all about, how you receive it. I didn't talk about in-person sessions, mostly because I'm not doing it right now, but perhaps in a future episode or a future video, I can do a demonstration on that and give a little insight there. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see that. Also, let me know what kind of topics you're interested in learning about, whether it be Reiki, acupuncture and acupressure, Chinese medicine, self-reliant healing, self-care, whatever the topic within this realm of holistic life that we can be living. What do you want to learn more about, so that I can dive in with you on those subjects? And it's my passion. It's what I love to do. It's what I love to talk about. And so love nothing more than to speak to what you want to know more about. So let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, subscribe please to this channel so that you can stay up to date with all of the content that I'm releasing. Give this video a thumbs up if you have found value, and I hope you did. I hope you found at least one little glimmer of value in the information I shared with you today. That just means I did my job well. And if you feel called and you know somebody who could use this information, I would love for you to share it with them. Okay? And I look forward to connecting with you again and being with you next time. Until then, stay well, my friends. I love you all so, so much.